I'm already recording. I'm an idiot. Hey you crazy people, Kaleidoscope here, and today is a little bit more relaxed video, thank God. Today is a little bit more relaxed because today I'm sharing with you guys my top 10 favorite creators. Now I say that hesitantly because I didn't include any musical creators on this list because I see genres as completely different things and I have favorite creators from each genre and they take up the list if I tried to put them on there, because then I'd feel bad if I didn't put one of my other favorite musical artists. No music is on this list, and also there's only one author on this list. I didn't put all my favorite authors because I would feel bad. So I put an author that's really special to me on here and I will share why with you guys when I get to them. But let's just jump right into it. Philip DeFranco reference. He's probably one of my favorite news sources, but he is not on this list either. I also tried to stay away from really big creators that I obviously really liked from my favorites and whatnot, like Markiplier, Jacksepticeye, Philip DeFranco, Crank Gameplays, because they have a lot of attention and I feel like these guys deserve more than they have. Okay, so let's just go right into it. Numero uno is Cranbrisher, and Cranbrisher is kind of big on YouTube, but he deserves so much more credit. Now he's bottom on my list. He's number 10 because I just recently found him. But oh my gosh, the dude's stop motion is so great, and I've always loved stop motion. It's one of my favorite styles of creating things. I just have a very busy schedule that doesn't allow me to make a ton of stop motion. I have made one that's gone, or I've made multiple that have gone on the channel. I love stop motion way more than words can convey. I adore it. So when I found him, I was like, oh my gosh, and his most recent project was really cool to me too that he did with Dan Bull, and I will be linking all of these people down in the description and one of the things they've made, so that'll probably go down in the description. But Cranbrisher is amazing. You should check him out. He's one of my favorite stop motion people at the moment because gosh dang, that dude's talented. But next on my list is another animator, and he's the guy who got me into animation, which is Robin Tokar, also known as Pixpit. And my gosh, this dude's style is so unique and cool. And not only is he an animator, but he has another channel that has, because he's found on YouTube, he has another channel that's so underrated called Beta Pixel, and he streams on Twitch, and the dude's hilarious. Like, he's so funny. He's quiet, but he's one of those quiet people that, like, when he talks, it's so worth listening to. But no, I love Robin and the stuff he does. I've written a newspaper article about him. For real, check him out. He also edits for Jacksepticeye, so some people might know who he is, but not everybody knows about his animations or his gaming channel, and the dude is so talented. So yes, Robin. My next person on the list is the only author that I put on this list, and there's a very good reason for why they're the only author I put on this list. Even though they're lower, it's because they more inspired me when I was younger. But Aaron Hunter, also known as the author of Warrior series, or the Seeker series, or the Survivor series, which is more geared towards middle schoolers, which is when I think I started in elementary school, and then I read it all throughout middle school. And I fell in love. I fell in love with their writing style. I loved it so much. And so then I got into Warriors when I caught up to Seekers and there was nothing left, and that's what inspired me to write. That's why I started writing things and creating things and doing poetry, and eventually leading to YouTube and whatnot. Like, these guys inspired me so much. And while their books aren't my favorite thing in the world anymore because I'm older and I have different tastes and whatnot and I've read more books, I can never forget them as the people who inspired me to start. Because I say Aaron Hunter, this might be confusing. Aaron Hunter is actually one name that a bunch of authors go by because they write so many books and put out so many books. But no, Aaron Hunter is one name that they all go by because they want to produce books at a steady rate, and so they all write together. And the stuff they create was so amazing. They're not my favorite books anymore, but they will always hold a special place in my heart because they're what inspired me to start writing or just creating in general, and I will never stop being thankful for that. Now, number 7 is Harry Baker. Now, Harry Baker is a slam poet, and my god is he good at what he does. And I think it was 2016 he won the International Slam Poet competition. He's from UK, and he's just so good. Some people get turned away because he talks a certain way, and some people don't like it. My hair is insane, but I love the way he talks, and I love his poetry and the way he performs it. One of my favorites is Primetime Lovin', also known as 59. Words can't describe it, but I love his poetry and it's so good, and he's one of the reasons I fell in love with slam poetry the way I did. And so are the next 3 people. The next 3 people are all slam poets. The first one that I have written down is Dan Roman, and I have only ever heard one poem by Dan Roman, but I love that poem so much that it goes on the list, because Dan Roman's poem that will be linked in the description is just so good. It's about depression and how living with depression is, and he uses this metaphor, this extended metaphor through the entire poem that is so amazing and perfect that I don't even have like words to explain, but he explains mental illness in such a just easy to understand way, and I don't know, I just want to write like that. Like, I would love to be able to put those images in people's heads the way he does in that poem. Next up is Davy Mack, and Davy Mack is possibly my favorite slam poet. Davy Mack is so good. I'll put my favorite poem of his down in the description. It's titled If I Was God, and it just made me question so much, and it made me question my writing style and the way I was doing things and who I was, and I don't know, his writing just makes you question things, and that's one of my favorite parts about creating, no matter what it is, whether it be animation or film or writing or songs or whatever, is when people can write something or make something that makes you think differently or makes you question everything you thought you knew, and Davy Mack does that for me. The next slam poet and my last slam poet on my list, and the highest on my list, is Kevin Cantor, because Kevin Cantor has a way with words. I've written stuff inspired by him. He just makes me want to write when I listen to him. He's so good at what he does. He has such a unique style, but it's also so flexible. He does so many different things. A lot of people know him because one of his poems called People You May Know, about Facebook recommending his rapist to be one of his friends on Facebook, that exploded and kind of got slam poetry out in the limelight. One of my favorites is Dad Bought a Telescope. It'll probably be the one I link in the description, but he just has a way with words. I love all of his poems. All of his stuff is good. He's super active and still writing stuff. I don't know. I love the dude. I want him to come out with a book. He's one of the people that once I was in the community that reminded me why I was in the slam poetry community, because he's just so talented and just great at what he does, and I want to write like him one day. Now, this was hard. These next 2 creators, where to put them was really difficult for me. Now, these next 3 are all YouTubers. Miles Chronicles is number 3 on my list because Miles just inspired me to be who I am and to act the way I want to act and do the things I want to do and wear the things I want to wear. Miles has just really helped me and made me think about things and just be myself, and I will never not be appreciative for that. And he just makes great content. It's all funny and relatable and just chill, and he's so inspiring and he helps so many people, and I want to be like that one day. I want to be helping people and making them laugh as much as I want to make them think as well. So I don't know, I love Miles to death. It would be a dream to meet him one day. Doubt that'll happen, but no, Miles is really great. Miles is definitely a huge inspiration to me. His content is so unique and just empowering and impactful. I love him to death. Now, number 2 on my list is Birdie Gilbert, and I hope some of you know that name. He has done a lot on YouTube. He's making a lot of short films, and his short films, my god, his stuff is what got me into film. It's why I got interested in it. It's again why I picked up a camera. I love his stuff. Again, it makes you think and you feel with the characters, and it makes you smile and it makes you cry. And my favorite by him is probably the 56-year-old boy, and it'll be linked in the description. But I love I adore his stuff. And his girlfriend, Savannah Brown, is also a slam poet, and she's also super talented. Birdie is just, he has such a unique flow in his films, and I love them to death. And the dude is also funny on social media, but I feel like just talking about that takes away from how great his films are and how much they deserve to be loved and appreciated, because they're so good. They inspire me so much. They make me think about things that I can't wait to see. Stomping Grounds, his newest project. I love his stuff, and I definitely recommend you check it out. It's definitely not for everyone, but it's so good. And he works with Sammy Paul a lot, and I love that guy's stuff too. so just not everyone can go on the list. And then lastly, my number 1 is Kick the PJ, or PJ Ligori, and words. PJ does so much stuff, and whenever I try to explain to people why I like PJ so much, it always comes down to the fact that I want to do what PJ does. I love how creative he is and all the different ways all the different techniques he uses to let out his creativity. He's done stop motion, he does sketches, he's done just crazy wacky stuff, he's done short films. He does everything that I want to do, and he calls himself a professional storyteller, which is why I call myself a professional storyteller, because I want to be like him. I want to be goofy and make people laugh and encourage people like Miles, but I also want to make awesome stuff like PJ does. And I don't even know what I'm gonna link in the description because all of his stuff is my favorite. I love his stuff so much. And any project he touches is automatically like crazy and unique in its own way. He works with a lot of amazingly talented people. Kick the PJ, definitely on my bucket list to meet the dude one day. He inspires me so much, and I just can't wait to make stuff half as good as he does because he's so talented. And Kick the PJ, check him out. He deserves so much more than the internet. Like, he has 1 million subscribers, but he deserves so many more. He's so talented and quirky and just brilliant. There's so many great things I could say about him, but nothing I say is gonna compare to you just clicking the link in the description and checking out his stuff, because the dude is amazingly talented. He is my biggest inspiration. He's given me my direction on where I want to go on things and what kind of things I want to do, and just reignited my love for different film stuff. I don't know, check him out. There were some people I obviously couldn't mention on here that I just want to give a quick shout out to because I also really like these people and I always check out their stuff when they put it up there. I really love My Skirm, a hilarious dude. He never fails to make me laugh whether he's streaming or it's his YouTube content. I really love Free Sheet. She's very artistically talented. She does speed paints. They're so good. You should check them out. And then I didn't mention any Storytime animators on here, and obviously Jaden Animations and The Odd Ones Out are super huge, but I also really love Something Else YT and Aiden Tortellini. Is that how you say his name? They're all super talented people. I love their content. I hope I'm not forgetting people. I mentioned like Sammy Paul, Jack and Dean are great. Yeah, I love all of these people. I want to hug their faces. They all inspire me. They all make me laugh. They all make my existence better. Those are my top 10 creators. I don't put them on the list lightly because there's lots of people whose stuff I love. But yeah, they're up there. Really like them. You should check them out. All their links will be in the description. But Kaleidoscope, why didn't you put yourself at number 1? Because I'm not as arrogant as my fans think I am. But anyway, if you guys like this video, please make sure to give that like button a tappity tap. And if you want to see more of my content, nudge that subscribe button, and I will see all you crazy people in the next video. Bye! Subscribe for more. I just headbutted my camera.